episode of Spin This, yay! Don't worry, I'll be there for you when it comes to music history. And I love that so far with the Spin This community, we have built a place where everybody knows your name. And it's not just tossed salads and scrambled eggs. Because we're hanging out down the streets, but don't worry, because it's not the same old thing we did last week. Because we're talking about sitcom theme songs. We interrupt this program to give you the following special report from Spin This News. Here is Simone Lockhart. Good evening. This just in, the actress, drummer, and VJ host of Spin This was hurt during the making of episode 6 sitcom theme songs. Let's take a look. We have word from our sources: do not attempt to enthusiastically explain music history at home or without the supervision of a professional because it can be dangerous. Stay tuned for exclusive on-scene clips and more about the incident coming soon. This has been a special report from Spin This News. We now join our regularly scheduled program in progress. I am your host and VJ, Simone Lockhart, and as always, if you want to listen to the songs that I am talking about in this episode, scan the QR code right here or click the link in the description. Without further ado, let's spin this. Oh, the place where everybody knows your name. Cheers. I'm funny. Gary Portnoy and Judy Hart-Angelo wrote 4 different songs before finally landing on Where Everybody Knows Your Name. One of the earlier attempts was even called My Kind of People. But the producers were clearly looking for something very specific, but they didn't quite know what they were looking for yet. The melody for Where Everybody Knows Your Name came from an unproduced Broadway musical that Gary Portnoy and Judy Hart-Angelo had been working on about a singles bar. So I guess by default, Cheers has Broadway DNA. The original first line of the Cheers theme song actually name-dropped the Boston Red Sox, but they took it out to make it more universally relatable. And actually, here's something that's pretty wild. The 60-second theme song doesn't even touch the wildest parts in the lyrics. The full song is 2.5 minutes long, and one of the verses is crazy. I mean, you have to hear this. The lyrics are: ran out of bed, Mr. Coffee's dead, the morning's looking bright, and your shrink ran off to Europe and didn't even write, and your husband wants to be a girl. What is happening in this song? I am not making any of this up, by the way. This isn't fake news. Pass the beer nuts because now we're jumping all the way to the 90s. I'm getting one of me visions. I think we're talking about Frasier next. If you get that reference, you're awesome. I'm trying to do as many references as I can. If you can guess all of the references that I've done in this video, you win a gold star. I don't know, but I'll shout you on my next video, like legit. If you can guess all of them, then I will shout you out in my next video, like a dedicated shout out to you personally, and like do a special little like confetti or something. I don't know. This song was composed by Bruce Miller and the lyrics were written by Daryl Finnessy. And you might be wondering, well, Frasier's theme song in the beginning of it isn't really much. It's like just a little piano, like doop 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 sort of thing. No, we're talking about the theme song that actually comes at the end of it. Toss salads and scrambled eggs. When I hear the blues a calling, toss salads and scrambled eggs. They're calling again. Down, down, you know that one? It was actually specifically written because they did not want to use the words Frasier, psychiatry, or Seattle. So instead they used food metaphors such as tossed salad and scrambled eggs to represent the chaotic callers that would come in on the Frasier Crane show. I feel dapper. Also the line, I hear the blues a-callin', referenced the callers that would come on that were depressed or sad, because he heard the blues like sadness calling, because he had callers calling in to the show, but he had like a mic like this and he would go, I'm listening. Kelsey Grammer actually volunteered to sing the theme song because he had always wanted to sing a TV show theme song. I guess it was a dream of his. Also, the last line of the song changes per episode. It is one of 2 lines. Good night, Seattle, we love you. Or Frasier has left the building. Go back, watch a few episodes, and you'll see that it sometimes changes. Also, a little bonus theme song. In one episode of Frasier, they had to create a Frasier Crane Show theme song. So are you Team Marty or are you Team Frasier? Do you like Marty's little ditty or did you like Frasier's elaborate orchestral theme song? It's pretty wild. This stinks. This is total BS because I am out of facts. On to the next one. Now, this is a story all about how Will Smith's life got turned upside down, so I'd like you to take a minute, just sit right there, and I'll tell you how he became the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Okay, is this giving Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or is this giving the genie at the end of the original Aladdin movie? Because I'm kind of thinking the latter. Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff wrote the theme song for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and recorded the entire thing in just 15 minutes. What is it with people doing things in 15 minutes? Quincy Jones originally created a theme song, but Will Smith just straight up rejected it. I mean, imagine rejecting a Quincy Jones song. What? Quincy Jones is this absolute legend who produced most of Michael Jackson's stuff. Like, if you can read between the lines there, he's just very important. Also, my sources say that Quincy Jones had some very colorful language when he got rejected. That was when Will Smith got the green light to write his own theme song, and so he came up with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And actually, it's said that Will Smith only took the role for the Fresh Prince because he was so broke. He had failed to pay some income tax for a while and he was in total debt. The IRS actually took about 70% of his income from the first 3 seasons. Yikes. He was literally working on a hit show and barely keeping any of his money. Also in 2013, Pennsylvania, a high schooler left a voice message saying that he was shooting some b-ball outside of the school. The school administration heard the message, but misheard it as shooting some people outside of the school. They locked down the school. It was shut down. They locked down an entire school from a misheard Fresh Prince lyric. But that kid afterwards probably like, look, don't hate me because I'm beautiful. That school was tripping. Seriously. No, they were worse than tripping. They've fallen and they can't get up. For the first 2 seasons of Happy Days, the theme song was actually an entirely different song. It wasn't even the Sunday, Monday, Happy Days. It was Rock Around the Clock. Now like 1, 2, 3 o'clock rock. But the Happy Days theme song that we all know and love was the closing theme song. So it just wasn't in the beginning of it. Norman Gimbel and Charles Fox were the people who were tasked with creating a song that had the same spirit as Rock Around the Clock. So they created Happy Days. And the Sunday, Monday, Happy Days is actually a nod to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock rock. Because of the listing format and then the title of the song. The show switched to the Happy Days theme song being the opener of the show in season 3 because the licensing costs for Rock Around the Clock were just going up and it was skyrocketing. They couldn't afford it anymore. So the producers decided that they didn't want to pay that anymore. So they just used their own original song, Happy Days. When you own your own theme song, it means no label, which means no copyright issues, which means no licensing and no fees. So they saved a lot of money. It was a very smart business decision. And plus, it was great for the audience because the Happy Days theme song became one of the most popular and recognizable theme songs at the time. And probably is very recognizable still by a certain generation of people. It is pure sitcom nostalgia. You know how I like my nostalgia. Meh. You know how I like my nostalgia. I almost said it like that. What is that? Like cross between Australian and British. However, the version recorded by Pratt and McLean in 1976 is probably one of the most recognizable versions of the song, and they used that for the majority of the show. However, in the final season, they switched to a 3rd version recorded by Bobby Arvin. So Happy Days had essentially 4 different theme songs over the course of its run. One that is totally, completely, and utterly different from the rest of the 3, and then 3 different versions of the Happy Days song, recorded by 3 different people. Jiminy crickets, that's a lot of theme songs. And did any of them hit the top charts? Correctamundo. Pratt & McLean's version hit the top 5 on Billboard's Hot 100. But I know a guy in the paper business who can really help me document all this stuff. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. And now welcome to The Office. The The producers originally wanted Mr. Blue Sky by ELO for the theme song of The Office. They had also considered Better Things by The Kinks and Float On by Modest Mouse. But ultimately, Mr. Blue Sky won the vote. Except an NBC drama called LAX already was using it as their theme song, so they couldn't just copy somebody else. So as the showrunner Greg Daniels was scrambling for an answer, he dragged in composer Jay Ferguson into the studio to record a totally instrumental, totally original theme song. And also, this was just a week before the pilot aired. He was really scrambling. There was not a lot of time to write, record, mix, and master an entirely new song. But now it is one of the most recognizable TV theme songs from the 2000s. The band that recorded it was called the Scran Tones, and later on, Jay Ferguson actually appeared on screen on The Office as the guitarist for Kevin Malone's band. This band was the Scrantonicity. The Office theme song had no official lyrics, but Rainn Wilson, aka Dwight, made up his own secret lyrics. His lyrics go, "The Office, a show about a boss. Mostly it's a show about Dwight, a show that's a lot of fun. But mostly Dwight's a lot of fun." He says it's a work in progress. Also, the theme contains an intentionally wrong note in its chord progression. That moment mirrors the bumbling but lovable incompetence of Michael Scott. No, God! Sometimes I start a sentence and I do not know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way. Like an improv conversation.
Improvisation.
And do you know what that means? Hey again! Guess what? We sort of kind of have a sponsor for this episode because I actually had to go to the hospital because I was hurt during the making of this video. Don't tell music history at home, kids, or adults, or anybody who's watching this. Don't do it. So before I explain how it all happened, here's the clip. This stinks! This is total... Let's rewind, slow-mo, zoom in. This stinks! This is... Don't worry though, don't freak out, everything's fine. I don't have a fracture, no bones were broken during the making of this video, but I do have a pretty deep bone bruise, and it hurts. It's basically what I did, if you couldn't see in the video. I was trying to do the, "This stinks, this is total BS" from Frasier. Bulldog, let's go. And I hit the very edge of my elbow on the corner of this table. Very hard. It wasn't fun. So sponsor for this video is Novant Health, because that's where I went. Unofficially sponsored. Go Novant. Woo. But in the meantime, I have to say thank you to all of my Super Spin This supporters from the last episode. We've had so many, even on videos that aren't my traditional episodes. So I've got to say thank you to Mortius Loop, Kurt FJ twice, Shelly Ballbuster, Tim Wallisle 18, Dan Hodge 9353, Excitium NL, and N.E.0765. You guys have helped me so much to be able to develop these videos even further, and the quality and the production, even the clothes that I wear. I wouldn't be able to do a lot of the things that I can now without you guys, so thank you so much. And if you're curious on how you can be like all of these guys and support me directly, all you have to do is go into the comment section, click this little icon next to the text bar, and send your super thanks. Alright, now that we've gone over all of that and I have been injured, let's go on to the next song. Bazinga! Ed Bertson of the Bare Naked Ladies wrote the theme song for The Big Bang Theory in 15 minutes! In his shower! He's not crazy, his mother had him tested. His wife actually had to encourage him to look up the producers because he didn't know who they were and had done no research right before going into a conference call with them. So he looked them up, popped into the shower, sang a catchy melody, and wrote one of the best-selling sitcom theme songs of the 21st century. In the original unaired pilot, the theme song was actually She Blinded Me with Science by Thomas Dolby. But they decided they wanted their own original theme song, so they made the Bare Naked Ladies write a song. And honestly, personally, they couldn't have booked somebody better. He told you the entire history of how the Earth started to where we are now in about 10 seconds. I don't think anybody else could do that better than him. Maybe Eminem, but that's just because he can talk fast. The title of the theme song, The History of Everything, is actually a nod to Bill Bryson's 2003 science book called A Short History of Nearly Everything. So this theme song is basically a science book report set to a pop song. Guys, if you ever want to teach your kids about science, just have them know the lyrics to this song. Because the whole universe was in a hot, dense state, then nearly 14 billion years ago, expansion started, and wait, the earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built the walls, we built the pyramids, math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with the Big Bang. And now the Seinfeld theme song in the notorious puffy shirt. I had to wear this. Most people might not know that the iconic bass line that is the Seinfeld theme song that everybody knows isn't a bass guitar, it's a synthesizer. Composer Jonathan Wolff used bass samples and put them through a synthesizer and played them using triggers on a keyboard. This created the iconic, juicy bass sound that we know and love. Also, the lip pops and mouth noises were actually recorded by Jonathan Wolff himself. You know, Wolff studied Jerry Seinfeld's comedy style and actually determined that most of his delivery was set to 110 BPM. So this was automatically the bass tempo for the theme song. Each and every one of the 180 episodes that are out there includes independent, completely improvised, different versions of the theme song. Jonathan Wolff created one based on Jerry Seinfeld's comedy delivery per that episode. He would watch his opening monologue and then just create a bass line that matched it. Each and every show had its own unique interludes. But here's honestly the craziest part. The executives thought, ooh, people aren't gonna like this. They're gonna think it's too odd. No soup for you, executives, because everybody loved it. Haha. And then, the theme song became iconic, yada yada yada. And next. Wisconsin! Nobody knows who said that, by the way, from seasons 2 through 8. Nobody knows. So I don't know. Do you know? If you know, please tell me. Nobody knows. Just keep watching. Did you know that the theme song is called In the Streets and it was written by Chris Bell and Alex Chilton from the band The Big Star? Dude, it's crazy. That's crazy. But for the first season, it was a cover by Todd Griffin, and then for the 2nd through 8th season, it was the cover by Cheap Trick. It's pretty wild. The version of In the Streets by Cheap Trick actually features the entire cast singing the chorus with them, creating this big chanting feeling. Also, did you know that Danny Masterson said the "Hello Wisconsin" in the first season, but nobody knows who said it after that? Legit, it's a total complete mystery. Once they changed to the Cheap Trick version, it is presumed that the producers wanted some options, so they had the entire cast record their versions of Hello Wisconsin. And they picked one and never disclosed what actor actually said it past season 2. So it could still be Danny Masterson, but it also could be Ashton Kutcher or Topher Grace. It legit could be one of the camera guys. If anybody knows the mystery for this, please tell me, because I need to get smarter. Oh. Ow. Andrew Gold wrote "Thank You for Being a Friend" in 1978, but he had no idea that it was going to be the Golden Girls theme song. He once said that it was sort of a throwaway track and only took him an hour to write. But he found out that it was going to be the Golden Girls theme song the same way that everybody else in the world did. He watched the first episode. But you might be thinking, Andrew sounds like a guy's name and the voice I'm hearing for the theme song is a girl. Well, yeah, it was re-recorded by Cynthia Fee. And despite popular belief, it was not sung by any of the Golden Girls. It's not B. Arthur, it's not Betty White, Cynthia Fee. Also, since the television version was about 60 seconds, they cut out a large portion of the song. So you're missing a lot of the plot that actually happens in the song. It's a very long song, so go listen to it by scanning my QR code or clicking my Spotify link in the description below. And as Rose once said, my mother used to say, the older you get, the better you get, unless you're a banana. And for the finale, wearing every single article of clothing that I've worn in this episode, could I be wearing any more clothes? They actually wanted Shiny Happy People by R.E.M., but the band said no. R.E.M's song could have been the theme song for one of the most popular shows, like, ever. But honestly, kind of a blessing in disguise, because I'll Be There For You by the Rembrandts, along with the creators of the show, David Crane and Martha Kaufman, was such a big hit that the Rembrandts had to go back into the studio and record a full-length version. There was a radio station in Nashville that put the 45-second song on a loop, and everybody was just like, oh my gosh, I could hear this all day, but I want more of it. Also, a little fun fact about this song, the iconic claps were added at the very last minute because somebody thought that it just needed some more energy. So imagine that song like without the claps. I mean, it's like so iconic. If you say in a crowd, so no one told you life was gonna be this way, I bet you anything the majority of the people there are going to clap. It's like signaling a cult. Now let's talk about the opening scene with the fountain and the couch and the lamp and everything that makes it so iconic. The cast of Friends actually hated recording the intro. It was a 4 a.m. shoot, the water was cold, they were all soaking wet, and they had to just randomly dance around this fountain and like do weird stuff. They said that the director literally told them to just dance, like, just do something. So when the Friends cast had to reshoot the intro for the one that could have been in season 6, the cast had very strict demands, such as having heated water, a very strict time slot of filming, since it had to be done right before the sun came up in the morning, and also everything had to be mapped out beforehand. There was no, oh, just go there and dance and do something. And of course, since they were recreating the first one, they had to include some iconic moments, such as Chandler acting as one of the fountain pieces and that. I mean, can you blame them? Nobody wants to jump into a freezing cold fountain right before sunrise. And of course, being the huge Friends fan I am wearing the iconic Joey wearing everything that Chandler owns. Except this time, I'm wearing every single outfit from this episode. It's very hot in here. So I want to know in the comments down below, do you think they were really on a break? Clearly Rachel Green thinks so, because she wrote 18 pages about it, front and back. Now, let's go check on our special guest. Can I just keep spinning and Dave will show up? Nope, didn't work. Man, I'm getting dizzy. Okay, I'm done with this. So that clearly didn't work, but also, Steve has blocked me, because apparently he doesn't like that I call while I'm doing the show. So, we're gonna write him a letter. Dear Steve, where is Dave Grohl? Sincerely, got jammed. Sincerely, Simone. No. Where's my whiteout? Sincerely, your boss. Good reminder every now and then, right?